Just didn't go our way. I don't know how many different ways to say it. Don't want to see us next year.
This was Stephen Curry at one of his lowest points, because over the past few seasons, he had felt nothing but defeat. For 5 straight years, he had made it to the NBA Finals, claiming the title of NBA champion 3 times. But 2019 started the downfall of the Golden State Warriors dynasty, and Curry's reputation would come crashing down with it. Everything that could go wrong in the 2019 NBA Finals did go wrong. Kevin Durant tore his Achilles, Klay Thompson tore his ACL, and Stephen Curry missed a clutch shot that could have saved his team. This series was a disaster, and one that would certainly kill the Warriors dynasty. Because Kevin Durant would leave that offseason, Stephen Curry broke his hand in 2020, and just as he was ready to return from the ACL tear, Klay Thompson tore his Achilles. This stretch of misfortune was the end, or at least that's what everyone said.
The question is, how many titles in the next 4 years? Y'all gonna sit on First Take. You and Dominique Foxworth are going to sit on First Take and say that Steph Curry will not be in the conversation for a championship in the next 4 years.
It's over for them now. We will never see Steph in another NBA Finals, ever.
With Durant's departure and both Klay Thompson and Steph Curry out for the majority of the 2020 NBA season, the Warriors had a terrible year. But the 2021 NBA season gave the Warriors hope. Hope that came from the sensational play of Steph Curry.
Draymond finds him another 3. Got it! 62! 62!
A little bit of a kill here. Steph in his bag. Deep! Like the fries were at the bottom.
Curry was on a tear all season long, traumatizing defenses night in and night out. He won the NBA scoring title, and he did it on efficiency that could only be described as an absurdity. But that's what it took just to drag this Warriors team to the play-in, where they lost to the Lakers and the Grizzlies to have their season cut short. The dynasty had long been declared over, and this result cemented that notion even more. While nobody believed in them, Steph Curry had made his statement.
Don't want to see us next year.
People, of course, had their doubts about the Golden State Warriors ever returning to a championship level after what happened in the last few years, and much of that doubt was extended to Stephen Curry, receiving criticisms of his performances in the clutch, allegations of being a frontrunner, and the biggest missing piece of his legacy being spotlighted more than ever, as despite his 3 NBA championships, he didn't have a single Finals MVP award in his trophy cabinet. This upcoming season was about more than just proving the Warriors' doubters wrong. It was about proving his own doubters wrong at the same exact time. This was an opportunity for Stephen Curry to silence everyone, and he wasn't about to let that opportunity pass.
Green knocks out Bradley, and a 3 by Curry, and Curry with another 3. Oh, you better buckle up. This feels different.
How many guys shoot 1-foot runners from 25 feet? A long 3.
Just like that, the Warriors were off to the best start in the NBA with an 18-2 record, Curry going ballistic in these first 20 games of the season. But for the Warriors to be this good, they needed more than just Steph to be on point. The rest of the team was holding it down. Andrew Wiggins providing high-level two-way play as a second option, Jordan Poole emerging as a serious offensive threat, Draymond Green being the heart of a relentless defensive unit, and every other member of the team doing their part on a nightly basis. Warriors basketball was back. And it was back just in time for a special moment in the career of Steph Curry. Over the last decade, he left no doubt that he was the greatest three-point shooter this game had ever seen. A whole catalog of shots from distance that used to feel like they happened once in a lifetime, but now they happened every time you turned on a game that was being played by Steph Curry.
Oh, no! Yo. Oh, that is almost unfair! The game has been broken.
2,972 made three-pointers later, he was on the cusp of NBA history.
Curry lets it fly. Oh, and there it is, right away. He has tied Ray Allen. 1 down, 1 to go. Here's Curry for the record. It's good, and there it is. Stephen Curry, the all-time three-point king of the NBA.
Steph had been fighting to make this moment happen his entire career, and that moment had finally arrived. It was a moment worth celebrating as the Warriors went on to win this game in Madison Square Garden, moving to 23-5 on the year, and a significant reinforcement was on the way.
He's back!
2 devastating injuries and 941 days later, Klay Thompson's return was finally here. He scored the first points of the game and then gave those fans at the Chase Center a moment that they would never forget.
And Klay down the lane. I think he's healthy.
A 17-point return for Klay Thompson had the Golden State Warriors at the highest of highs. They were already playing at an elite level without him, and now things were only getting easier. The Warriors maintained a championship level of play heading into the All-Star weekend, and because of that, they were well represented, with both Andrew Wiggins and Stephen Curry being recognized as All-Star starters. And with this game taking place in Cleveland, Steph Curry was welcomed to the building with boos from the Cavaliers fans. He laughed it off, but this made it personal.
Can somebody tell me what the record is for the most points?
It's a layup. Here we call layup, Kevin. What we call layup? That's right. That is a layup. That's a layup. That's a layup. Oh, here we go. Here we go. He did it. Here we go. Video game. It's video game time. Fluid it on with him. He's
50 points and 16 three-pointers. This was Stephen Curry in the zone, and once again, he was claiming another piece of hardware in the city of Cleveland, this time the All-Star Game MVP. This season, Steph wasn't taking any disrespect. Kevin Porter Jr. had already learned this the hard way.
Look, he's still staring at him. Steph is not even going to acknowledge him.
He was kind of mean-mugging Steph for a little bit there.
At this point of the game, Curry had just 16 points, but this moment lit a fire under one of the deadliest forces that basketball has ever seen.
You end up with 40 points, and 21 of those points in the fourth quarter. We gave Kevin Porter Jr., he was trying to guard you, trying to get competitive, but you responded with 21 in the fourth quarter.
So yeah, he wasn't playing fair this year. But this season was not perfect by any means for the Golden State Warriors, not even for Steph. Because in the month of January, he had the worst shooting slump of his entire career, while at the same time, Draymond went down with a lower back injury that kept him out for 2 months. Then as soon as Draymond returned, Stephen Curry fell with an injury of his own, suffering a sprained foot against the Boston Celtics just a month out from the NBA playoffs. In a season where so much had gone right for the Warriors, there was still so much that had gone wrong. Despite all the setbacks, the Warriors still managed to win 53 games this season, securing the 3rd seed in the Western Conference. But their superstar, the player most responsible for those wins, was a question mark. Steph had missed the last 12 games of the season, and if they wanted any chance at getting back to the NBA Finals, they had to have him, especially considering their first round opponent was led by the league's reigning MVP. If you're locked into this story and enjoying the video so far, just know that this is not the only one. There's many more on the channel and many more coming soon. So don't miss out. 93% of you watching right now are not subscribed, which means 93% of you are missing out on more stories just like this one. Hit that subscribe button as we push for that big 100K milestone.
The Denver Nuggets versus the Golden State Warriors. And this is the first ever playoff game at Chase Center.
It was a big moment for the franchise, but the franchise player will be coming off the bench in this one as the Warriors eased him back from injury. While Steph Curry had less of an impact on this game, the Warriors were still in control because tonight it was a pool party.
Pool. The Euro. Pounded. There's the sidestep three. Off the bounce.
The Nuggets had an MVP, but the Warriors had Jordan Poole, a signature 30-point performance on a night where the Warriors obliterated the Denver Nuggets. And in Game 2, the pool party would only continue. He had arrived here in these playoffs, putting on a show as he played like a star once again. Only this time, the Nuggets really had no chance because Steph Curry had caught fire off the bench to have his first statement of the playoffs. A duo that combined for 63 points on the night. But here in this game, the Warriors had found something serious with these 5 players, a new death lineup that was running circles around the Denver Nuggets, outscoring them with this lineup on the floor by a ridiculous 129.3 points per 100 possessions. The rest of the league had to be terrified witnessing this. In Game 3, behind their home crowd, Denver put up a much better fight, but they still didn't have enough for the Warriors, who got 80 combined points from their top 3 scorers. The Splash Brothers had already been giving the NBA hell for years, and now there was a third one. The Denver Nuggets avoided a sweep by escaping Game 4 with the win, but in Game 5, the Warriors had brought out the black jerseys at home, because this was Denver's funeral. Curry got the start for the first time in this series, and he hung 30 points on this defense that he had been cooking all series. It was never once in doubt, with the Warriors' trifecta of Splash Brothers all averaging at least 20 points per game in this series. Round 1 was light work for Golden State, but the second round would bring a much more formidable challenge.
Memphis has proven to be a particularly resilient team.
Morant drives. Morant. Oh, it's good.
They're a tough team.
Beasley. Oh, he's met at the apex by Jackson.
A lot of good things going for him.
Morant. Oh, a jawbreaker. Everybody move the hell out the way. This brother has arrived.
This year, the Memphis Grizzlies have matched their best season in franchise history, securing the second most wins of any team in the NBA. Their young core had taken a massive leap, Jaren Jackson Jr. becoming one of the best defenders in the league, Ja Morant emerging as a superstar in just his third season. This was a young, hungry, determined team, determined to prove that they belonged here despite their lack of playoff experience. But it was also a team that Golden State had experience with, as just last season they were denied a spot in the playoffs by Memphis. And to add more fuel to the fire, Jaren Jackson Jr. tweeted out strength in numbers back in March after taking down the Warriors in the regular season, a direct shot at Golden State. This playoff series was going to get very, very interesting. And from the moment it tipped off, it absolutely delivered. A constant back and forth through the entire game, both teams fighting to build an advantage over the other. One where the closing moments would decide a winner, a moment where you could always trust a splash brother to make something happen.
Thompson fakes, fires, three-pointer, bang!
But it wasn't over just yet, because Ja Morant had a chance to steal the game.
Morant on the drive, scoop layup, no good, it's over.
Going as hell, fellas. Come on. Come on. I know.
At the end there, you were kind of standing with your back to the stanchion. What was going through your mind as right after that, the last play?
I missed the layup I normally make all the time. On to the next, though.
Bodies fly. It's a 5-on-3. Oh, jaw lift. Morant looking for a runway. Now a step back. Morant. Morant. The drive. The floater.
You know, after game one, he came to me and Jaren and said it's going to be a battle. You know, we're going to have some fun. I was able to, return that message tonight, saying the same thing. So.
But game two was more than just a Ja Morant masterclass, because it added so much more heat to this series between these teams. And it was all because of a reckless foul by Dillon Brooks on Gary Payton II, a reckless foul that led to Payton breaking his elbow, a reckless foul that Steve Kerr viewed as a dirty play and one that broke the code. The NBA certainly agreed with this stance as Brooks was suspended for Game 3. A Game 3 that the Golden State Warriors completely dominated. Curry with another strong performance here in this postseason with 30 points, which is exactly how much Golden State won by. A massive statement from the Warriors. But it was here in this game where Ja Morant picked up a knee injury from this play. More controversy as Morant tweeted out the same quote from Steve Kerr. Ja Morant now doubtful for the rest of the postseason. The Grizzlies had to play Game 4 without their superstar, but they were putting up a serious fight. For a large part of the game, it seemed like they might come out with the win to even up this series. But Steph and Curry continued to be the difference. This was already his 5th 30-point game of the playoffs. He was determined to make it back to the NBA Finals. Golden State now had Memphis on the brink of elimination. But they couldn't seal the deal here in Game 5. The Grizzlies had their best game of the series even without Ja, a sensational all-around team performance to keep their season alive. They lived to see another day, but it would be their last. Because in Game 6, the Warriors were all business. Curry finished the game with 29 points and Klay Thompson added another 30. After missing the last 2.5 seasons, this was a huge moment for Klay as the Warriors have made it to the Western Conference Finals, 4 wins away from making it back to the NBA's biggest stage. All season long, the Phoenix Suns were the favorites in the Western Conference. After making it to the NBA Finals last season, they had taken things to another level, winning a franchise best and season-high 64 games in the regular season. But in the second round, they ran into Luka Doncic.
Luka came out, he snatched their soul.
27-point lead, down goes Johnson, 3.
He took all the life out of that team. That's how good he is.
In the Game 7, on their home floor, Luka Doncic handed Phoenix the ultimate embarrassment. He has solidified himself now as a certified superstar in the playoffs, averaging truly outrageous numbers. The Warriors had the experience coming into this series with Dallas, but the unpredictability of what Luka Doncic could do, that was scary. But here in Game 1, the Golden State Warriors were relentless as a team. Defensively, offensively, everybody was getting involved and contributing. Golden State has 7 players in double figures, while Luka Doncic had his worst game of the playoffs, clearly impacted by the defense of Andrew Wiggins. But he wasn't able to hold Luka down for long. It disappeared for a game, but Luka Magic was back in Game 2, and he was leading Dallas to an advantage over Golden State. With the 19-point lead, it felt like they had this one in the bag. They sure didn't, because Golden State would have one of their unstoppable runs to flip this game right back in their favor. Steph and Curry with the finishing touches.
Curry, 3 runs and fire!
Down 2-0 with the series heading to Dallas, Luka was determined to get one back.
Firing, good as it goes.
with a shimmy added on after to send Steph Curry a message. But he was having a game of his own, one of those nights where he could put up a shot and turn around. He already knew that it was falling, and it was Andrew Wiggins who really added the final exclamation point.
Goes by drops the sledgehammer.
This capped off another excellent game by the Golden State Warriors, a 3-0 series lead. They had Dallas right where they wanted. The Warriors slipped up in Game 4, allowing the Mavericks to take one back, but in Game 5, they brought out the black jerseys, and you know what that means.
Here's a drive by Green. Got it right around Cleveland. Thompson, Haynes shoots. Off to Wiggins. Here he goes. And down it goes.
The gentleman sweep by the Golden State Warriors, a spot in the NBA Finals secured, and some new hardware for Steph and Curry.
The Urban Magic Johnson Trophy goes to your very own Stephen Curry.
It was said that the Warriors would never make it back to the stage after everything that they went through. And already, those people had been proven wrong. But this team was focused on the bigger picture. This core had already won 3 times together. Now they were seeking number 4. And with everything that happened over the last few years, number 4 could be the sweetest one yet. They had just one more obstacle left to overcome. The Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics were the hottest team in the NBA, and they had faced the ultimate test in the Eastern Conference on their way to the NBA Finals. ESPN's BPI model had them as the heavy favorites over the Warriors in this one. Their offense had been clicking, led by 2 dynamic stars in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, 2 stars who were surrounded with lethal shooters. And the Celtics felt like they had a player to contain Stephen Curry with Marcus Smart, the first guard to have a Defensive Player of the Year season since Gary Payton. This team had been constructed so well. All for Steph Curry to come tear them down.
Curry all alone, and that's lethal. Deadly. Behind the screen. Steph Curry locked in. He's hotter than fish grease.
A 21-point first quarter from Steph Curry with 6 made threes. He was back in the NBA Finals and he was playing like he was possessed. Golden State was defending home court exactly as planned here in Game 1, but then everything went cold because the Boston Celtics had locked in for this final quarter. The Warriors struggled to get anything going while the Celtics got everything that they wanted. A fourth quarter where Golden State was outscored by 24 points. They let it get away.
We know they're a good team, so are we. We got to respond on Sunday.
The Warriors could not head to Boston down 2-0 in this series. They had to bring in a result tonight. The Celtics carried their momentum from the last game into this one having a hot start, but Golden State stayed the course and eventually had one of their signature game-breaking third quarters. Good defense, but unstoppable offense. The story of this 12-minute period that completely changed the game. It was a statement by the Golden State Warriors to bounce back and dominate the Celtics to even up this series. So far in this postseason, the Boston Celtics were not convincing at home in the TD Garden. They had played 9 games and only won 5 of those. Not a strong home record for a team that made it all the way to the NBA Finals. With that in mind, the Warriors were ready to seize this opportunity to strike Boston on their home floor and take a 2-1 lead in the series. But that's not at all what happened.
Layup blocked by Brown. Rejected out of bounds. Jaylen Brown goes down the other way. Timeout Golden State. Tatum to Brown. Brown the flush.
Curry was remarkable in this game himself.
It's good. And the foul.
But it simply wasn't enough to match Boston as they had another dominant fourth quarter that stole the game. 24 points from Smart, 26 from Tatum, and 27 from Brown. Boston came into this series with many believing that they were the better team, and they were playing like it.
Are the Warriors done?
Yeah, they done.
What's it like to be in your zone?
It's one of the best feelings because you don't think about much. You're just looking for any bit of daylight. If the shot is not getting blocked, it's going in.
Curry again. Oh, Steph Curry. Another long distance shot. It's good. Steph Curry. Curry three-pointer. Pucks it in. Curry. It's good. Steph Curry from downtown. Curry now has Williams on him. Looking to unload it. Flips it up. Shot is good. Steph Curry dancing, prancing, and puts it in.
With his legacy on the line, the possibility of a 3-1 deficit staring down his team, Stephen Curry delivered one of the most heroic performances that the NBA Finals had ever seen. The Golden State Warriors were right back in it, and it was all because of that demon wearing number 30, Game 5 was pivotal. If the Warriors dropped this one, then the Boston Celtics would have a chance to win the finals on their home floor. Unfortunately for the Warriors, Curry chose a bad time to have his worst game of the postseason, shooting 0 for 9 from 3, but it was all okay because of Andrew Wiggins. For this entire series, Wig had taken the toughest defensive matchup, and tonight he carried the load offensively on top of that. A player who had completely revitalized his career in Golden State was delivering his ultimate performance on the big stage. In a close game, such a pivotal game, he was the deciding factor, and he added the final touch.
Wiggins drives and finishes! Exclamation point from Andrew Wiggins!
The Golden State Warriors now one win away from proving everyone wrong. Stephen Curry one statement away from cementing himself amongst the legends of the game. Game 6 in Boston, a hostile environment, a dominant team on the other side of the Golden State Warriors. But whatever Boston had, none of that mattered, or at least not tonight, because tonight was Stephen Curry's night.
Curry sidestep, three-pointer, it's good! Steph Curry from downtown! Three-pointer, right side is good! 6 assists for Green, Curry along 3. It's good! Steph Curry from way downtown! Some Curry chaos here in the third! Curry gets it, fakes, fires, three-pointer, bang! Steph Curry from downtown, a 15-point lead.
As the final buzzer sounded, we saw emotions from Steph that we had never seen before, because this one, this 4th NBA title, it simply meant more.
You know this is what it's all about, playing for a championship and what we've been through the last 3 years. Beginning of the season, nobody thought we'd be here. We were so far away from it. We were here for 5 straight years and got 3 of them. Then you hit rock bottom with injuries and the long road of work ahead. And to get back here and get it done means the world.
Over the course of this series, Curry dominated what many believed was the best defense in the NBA, and that was more than enough to add the one missing piece to his resume.
He's a 4-time NBA champion, a 2-time league MVP, a member of our 75th anniversary team, and for the first time ever, he's an NBA Finals MVP. The 2022 Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP award goes to Stephen Curry.
His legacy was written now. There was nothing else to be said.